So tonight, I'm trying to check the time on my phone, looking for my phone. You guys are my phone. It's 8 p.m. and I am craving coffee. I am also... Oh, the tag is on there. I'm also eating dragon fruit. But don't worry. Don't worry at all. I was eating French fries all day. Balance. Ooh. Anyway, when I get called to drink coffee at night, I know that it's gonna be a powerful night or a long shift. Oh yeah. I'm being asked to make, or like called to make like 3 videos right now. And I forgot that one of them was about my skin. This is like my skin being expressive. Like more than usual, you know. But for a while, the look of my face, my skin, was not my top priority. It could not be. And I wanted it to be so bad. And it was so frustrating for me until I got so sick to the point where I actually stopped giving a fuck. And then I finally reached the point where I could start giving a fuck again. And then that part was difficult for me because it was like the in-between, like the manifesting stage. And I thought I didn't have the money because I didn't have the money. Like, it was obvious. But what I wasn't expecting was to find a skincare brand that actually works for me, products that actually work for me, and somehow still aligning to the cause that I want to do the most, which is like keep the money within the island economy. Not meaning that I'm never going to support like outside people. That would be crazy. But for my staple everyday items, I do try and shop local. Because if I'm not shopping local, who the fuck is gonna shop with me? You know what I mean? Like, so, this is what my skin looked like when I first started esthetician school in 2017? 2017, I think. 2018? Okay. I graduated beauty school in 2018. Yeah. Okay. So, 2017, skin. So, what was happening with my skin was I had food allergies and I was fed them my whole life. I forgot, like just completely blanked, that I had an allergy test when I was 8 years old, like the bubble test. And my parents thought that feeding me the allergens would like build my immunity over time. I didn't eat really junk, but I didn't eat really healthy. I feel like my parents always made sure to have like balance within the meals it themselves. So after so many years of like build up, finally like purging my skin, it looked like my face was literally falling off. During that time period, it was very painful, but it's like it was my face. Like I knew that there was no way to hide it. And I all I remember is caring about how it felt so much that, you know, I didn't care. I was like proud. I was like, this is my allergens purging out. I even went, that's how I began like the naturopathic homeopathic journey, is when I found a doctor that actually understood me and understood what I was saying and was like, your symptoms are not foreign to me. And she actually cared about like what I was saying, and she valued my insight. So I learned a lot there beyond just like skin and hormones. She did an allergy panel for me. We did a lot of different work, corrections from birth control, and just learning different things. The skincare was like, I don't know, I had the best products, I had the best people, and to be able to explain that there's more to skin than what meets the surface, which really affirmed like personal, deeper beliefs for me. I wanted to make sure not to put makeup over the skin because I wanted her to be able to breathe. And I just, some people's skin looks like that, not controlled. Some people's skin looks like that without them having to do like a deep peel. And some people get illnesses, some people, you know, they get different things that they deal with that can really create imbalance within the body, which the skin is a reflection and map of the internal body. It's crazy because I feel so much like the skin like before this, like right today. Like, was feeling so bad about it. Like, this time around was almost harder than the first time. It's like the first time I knew I was doing everything I could. And it's like this time, because I didn't have the same privilege or access as I had previously, it was harder. But I tried to stay true to that belief even when I was trying to knock myself over. I used to decorate with these false lashes because this one girl I met at a party in Vegas, she had her own lash business and she gifted them to me for my birthday when I was visiting there with a friend. And I had never worn lashes before. And they were so, I was like, ooh, I love it. I love this. And so I had a phase of that for a while, mixed with like really bold makeup looks. And eventually my skin healed. Even when I kept eating allergens, it never did that full eruption again. So maybe with my new lens, I could just add an ace of spades in there, an ace of diamonds in there, and be like, well, it could have also been like trauma coming up, like feeling supported for one of the very first time and respected by like leaders because at this phase, I recognized that I did have power. Like, it wasn't like, oh, good idea, you're so smart. Yeah, we're gonna keep doing everything except for that. Like, it wasn't that type of energy. It was like, hey, you know what? I fuck with that. Or, oh, you know what, girl? I fucking tried that. It didn't work for me. And I'm, And like, both of those things were so fun. So fun, so amazing. And you still have that space for flexibility, creativity. Like meeting someone who's like you don't have to over explain yourself to, they just respect you. And those are some of my greatest friendships. Those are some of my friendships that will last. Even if within that moment, they will last. It's not just within that moment, but you get what I'm saying. There were points where after the injury, like I couldn't even shower, like I couldn't lift my arms over my head. So of fucking course how the fuck was I supposed to do a skin routine? How? So like I was always told I was fat and ugly. So even in the phase of like 2016 to like around beauty school, I guess 2016, 2017, 2018-ish. Like my friend Ricardo was one of the first people to help make me understand that I'm beautiful. I don't know if you guys know what it's like to have to be explained to that you are generally attractive, but it is a hard pill to swallow. So you don't swallow it. You crush it up and you snort it. Then when I reached a certain point of being skinny and pretty, it was like confusing for me. Like, people would be like, oh, well, blah, 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 blah. And I wouldn't understand what the fuck they're saying. Like, I wouldn't understand why. It was frustrating, to say the least, and I learned that my inner energy and beauty, like, there was a point where I thought, like, I was still ugly and fat, but my inner beauty was really radiating. And that was an interesting phase within itself. That was a time for sure. Little off topic, but you know what's funny is some things that normally would keep you up at night, I can still sleep on them. That's how I know if I'm meant to sleep, I'll sleep. When I'm meant to be awake, I'll be awake. Coffee kind of just tastes nice, so it's more of like the spiritual fulfillment vibe for me. If I only record this one video and that's all I'm supposed to do and just have the other two locked and loaded, I will still be able to fall asleep immediately after. So then came the insults of, I wish I hit my head, oh, how'd you get to look like that? Oh, to like some people being like, you look unwell, you look unwell, you look tired. Like, yes, I do, because I am throwing up to like all the time, and I feel like I'm going to just drop dead, and I'm dizzy, and my blood is pooling, and I'm in a bad mood, I need to sleep, and all y'all's bullshit be bullshitting. Like, of course I look fucking tired. That's so rude. Oh, you look so tired, but I left all this work behind for you. Girl. Blech. You know what I mean? Healing my skin taught me how to heal my insides and how to be more gentle and just allow things to take their time. Let's get a little message for whatever physical, medical, spiritual thingy that you may be unhappy or uncomfortable with at this time. This is the Mother card. It talks about unconditional love, intimacy, abundance, and compassion, knowledge, skills, and training, satisfaction, pleasure, and joy, power sharing, equality, and ambition interests. So, because I'm me, we're gonna get spiritual with this. Something maybe you should know about me before I say this is that I am trying to see if I can heal my own allergies, or at least have them in moderation without having something. My skin is gonna let me know, so I'm gonna heal my skin, and me and my skin are gonna communicate and see what's going on, because it's not just my face skin that it affects. I'll get dandruff as an allergic reaction as well. So I'm trying to see if my sobriety mindset idea can shift towards my allergic system and see if I can rewire it somewhere like that. As far as healing my disability goes, I've kind of been told not to do that. Not to do that as at this time, that it is not something that is supposed to be fixed, that it is something that is supposed to be made space for. Does that make sense? I don't care. It makes sense for me. Okay. Because you are your own being, you have your own story, you have your own imprints, you have different beliefs, you have different interests. Now, sometimes we are limited to like Western medicine, doctor, physical, sciencey type stuff. However, even then, even there's sometimes they're like, I don't know what this is, or all these different things, right? So, using your interests, the things that you look into that bring you joy, that make you happy, that you like to learn about, that don't like make you feel out of alignment, which can also feel like fear, like discerning between those two. What would your explanation be? What could your explanation be? How would you like to describe yourself confidently? Not in a way of like making an excuse or being an arrogant, unknowledgeable dumbass. Like, no. Because everything is so unique, who is to say that you don't know your own body, that you don't know what you're talking about, that you don't have the power to work towards that goal? Initial diagnoses can be like starting points. They are starting points. I don't believe that everyone is supposed to be adhering to one standard of what healthy is. I think everybody has different standards of health for them depending on their body. Because to say that we have all of the control would also be kind of super advanced. So if you believe something and you try to take action accordingly, and it ends up making you happier whether you get the result you want or not. Breaking free of any restraints that are not accommodating towards you and your energy. You shouldn't have to be fixed and like if the twin towers, like, but without the twin, like just one, that guy would never have been able to tightrope across. Nurture and trust coming out. To not feel bad about feeling bad about yourself, like it's okay to feel ugly or embarrassed or like you don't fit in, because that is a really important step into being able to love all parts of you, your uniquities. Meditation, grounding, cycles. Oh, 7-7 again. From like the previous reading with the the stale, they're not bicycle cards, but like, ooh, okay. The sage. Sharing, communication, advice, tradition, information, culture, whatever. You know the deal. I guess if I were to, like, I wouldn't have anything to say to my past self. I'm like, I look back at those pictures and I'm just kind of like, I know that shit wasn't easy though. So what does my past self want to tell me about this? I guess. Wisdom, integrity, and hopelessness. You never betrayed yourself. You never betrayed yourself. You never did. That's the message. You don't have anything to tell the past version of you. You don't have anything to tell the version of you that made mistakes or didn't know, because you are always operating towards wisdom and integrity. The fear and the doubt are almost self-betrayal in themselves. A lot of people, they would see my skin, and these were professionals, some of the top in the country, and they would say, well, like, how do you expect to be an esthetician if your skin looks like that? And it kind of infiltrated a little bit, but for some reason, it never fully took. I never fully let that take over me. I actually didn't like the, oh, your eyebrows too. Like, you go in for one thing and they're trying to sell you something else. And it's like, yeah, I understand you're trying to run a business, but don't fucking insult me like that. Like, I want to wax my mustache when I want to wax my mustache. I want to wax my unibrow when I want to wax my motherfucking unibrow. I put in a lot of work to be comfortable in the moments where I could not afford either physically to do myself or monetarily to pay someone else to remove my body hair. What the fuck? Like, these people are supposed to be promoting beauty. And somehow I still felt like it was a false sense of beauty. You don't need to wax. You don't need to color your hair. You don't need any of these things. You should choose to do these things because you want to, because they make you feel enhanced. They make you feel in your power. You can afford to. And because you want to support the person doing it. Stop going back to the people that disappoint you with their service.